One that, and the governor and lieutenant governor spoke to our commitment to labor very passionately. And as chair of this party, I want to also leave no room for doubt that the Kentucky Democratic Party stands with labor. There is no Democratic Party without labor. There is no Kentucky without labor. There is no America without labor. And for decades, both unions and Democrats have fought to improve the lives of Kentucky's workers, whether that's pushing for fair pay, for lunch breaks, or policies that have saved lives in the coal mines or Commonwealth, our Commonwealth is famous for. And that's why I'm proud to introduce our next speaker, longtime union member and advocate, political director, and business agent for Teamsters Local 89, Bill Miller. Bill Miller, come on up.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chairman Eldridge. Didn't plan on following him. That's hard to do, so we'll get through this. Holy shit, this is a big room. But it's good to see so many Democrats. We raise our hands today. For those that are their first convention, it's great to see all of you here. My name is Bill Miller, and I'm the political director of Teamsters Local 89. It is an honor to represent President Avril Thompson, Secretary Treasurer Jeff Cooper, and the entire executive board, and over 20,000 members across Kentucky and Southern Indiana, as proud members of the Kentucky State AFL-CIO. Here in Kentucky, the AFL-CIO represents over 100,000 workers spanning public and private sectors, from coal miners, gotta flip the page, to truck drivers, to nurses, teachers, and public employees. This diverse coalition is the backbone of workers in Kentucky, and our collective strength means that when we speak, elected officials and corporations alike must listen. Our unity is our power. My interest in politics was sparked when I attended a political training in 2007. It was a group of us of UAW, UFCW, and Teamsters. We discussed the strategies to address member concerns regarding the union's political endorsements. Amidst various suggestions, a lighthearted remark came from the back of the room: hit that F word with a bat. And I was hooked. That meant the Teamsters were in the room. I even edited that, see?
Yeah. Well done.
This relationship has defined the path of workers' rights in America and will continue to shape the future of our collective power. Unions like ours are the bedrock of the American working class. We have fought tirelessly for better wages, safer working conditions, and the fundamental right to organize. Let us be clear, those victories were not won in isolation. They were achieved because we had allies who amplified our voices and turned out our demands into legislation, and stood in solidarity with us. And time again, that ally has been the Democratic Party. The bond between unions and Democrats is not incidental. It is historical and intentional. It gained strength through the era of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a time when America was reeling from the Great Depression. Roosevelt's New Deal was more than just a series of reforms. It was a promise to the working people of this country. I really don't do this a lot, guys, I promise you. The Wagner Act of 1935 was a cornerstone of the New Deal. It affirmed our right to organize and bargain collectively. That legislation wasn't just written in ink, it was written in the sweat and blood of workers striving for dignity and fairness. This partnership was not a one-way street, while Democrats supported our cause. We mobilized voters, organized communities, and contributed funding to campaigns. Our alliance brought forth transformative changes from social justice. Unions have always been on the front lines of the fight for civil rights, standing shoulder to shoulder with leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. During the Memphis sanitation workers strike, it was unions, including the Teamsters, that provided financial aid and moral support. What a lot of people don't realize is Martin Luther King Jr. and Jimmy Hoffa, the original, well, our immediate past president is Jimmy P. Hoffa. James R. Hoffa were very good friends. And when Martin Luther King reached out and said, we need money to sustain this strike in Memphis, it was the Teamsters that donated over $10,000, that's in 1968 money, to sustain that strike. I've met those workers. That bargaining unit is still, they're actually AFSCME members today. They've withstood the test of time and stayed bargaining members the whole time. In more recent times, Democratic leaders have continued to show up for us and us for them. From supporting minimum wage increases to fighting for workplace safety, collective bargaining rights, Democrats have always championed our causes. President Joe Biden declared himself the most pro-union president in American history, and he was right. I personally saw him in April of 2024 at a North American Building Trades Conference. And he was amazing, folks. He was off the cuff, he was funny, he took some shots at our current president. He really did a great job. And President Biden, his legacy in this country should not be forgotten. He truly was a pro-union president. There have always been challenges. Union membership has declined over the past few decades, slipping from 20% in 1983 to just over 10% today. You know, the county with the most union density in Kentucky, it's Hancock County. They don't have a whole lot of jobs there, but they do have union jobs. It's about 27%, mostly steel workers. Chad, you out there? Chad Conley with the U.S. Steel Workers. There is good news. Public support for unions is at its highest in decades, with nearly 67% of Americans standing behind us. That's a mandate for action, a signal that workers are ready to reclaim their power. This is where the Democratic Party becomes indispensable. They have the platform, the legislative tools, and political will to help us turn the tide. And in return, we offer something no institution can, a direct connection to the workers and working families. We are the grassroots organizers, the boots on the ground. Together we can rebuild a political coalition that doesn't just win elections, but transforms lives. Here in Kentucky and Southern Indiana, we've seen how this partnership can deliver real results. During our historic UPS contract negotiations, both Mayor Greenberg and Governor Andy Beshear stood with us, putting their support in writing and sending letters to UPS. Anybody from Jefferson County will tell you what an outsized influence UPS has. Hell, they built the airport. They control it, a little bit.
Yeah.
And for Governor Beshear and Mayor Greenberg to step up and do that for us was a big, big deal for us. And the letters were actually very good. Governor Beshear has been a staunch ally, and his pro-union stance is a testament to what can be achieved when labor and political leadership work hand in hand. Let's not forget about the remarkable surge of labor activism across the country. Auto workers, casino workers, teachers, baristas. Believe that, we're organizing baristas.
Oh.
I mean, you told me that 10 years ago. I told you.
Yeah, Union Coffee. Union Coffee.
Because all work deserves representation. Everybody. People from all walks of life are discovering the power of collective action. It's right out there, that protest out front. One voice can be shut up. The big voice can make a big difference. As we look to the future, the path is clear. We must continue to organize and educate and to mobilize. We must also ensure that our political alliances are strong and enduring. The Democrats need us as much as we need them. They rely on our grassroots power, our ability to connect with working class voters, and our unwavering commitment to justice. Workers are not interested in empty promises or political games. They want real change, living wages, safe workplaces, respect on the job. The Democratic Party and labor have a long history together, but the relationship must be rooted in genuine commitment to workers and not just votes for endorsements. If every voice, let me skip the page. We're sticking together, y'all. I just had some hot honey over at lunch. I think my fingers are all sticky. No jokes about union members with sticky fingers. Let's not do that.
Ouch.
Our alliance is to thrive, and it must be built from the ground up with the rank and file members leading the way. So I urge you today, let us deepen this alliance. Let us push for the policies that matter to us. Fair wages, safe, I repeated that. Let us hold our political allies accountable with standing ready to support them when they stand with us. In solidarity, we are unstoppable. Together with the Democratic Party, we can achieve a future where every worker is respected, every voice is heard, and every community thrives. Our alliance is not just a partnership, it is a promise to generations before us who fought for our rights, and to the generations who come to depend on us today. Looking ahead, this relationship will remain a cornerstone of progressive politics in America. Like any relationship, it will face challenges. The challenge and opportunity lies in adapting to the changing economy and an evolving workforce. It is important to note that unions are legally restricted from using general funds for political engagement. We can only utilize specific voluntary contributions, which our members may opt out of or into at any time. I just spent the last 2 weeks going to different shops around our jurisdiction. We changed the name of our political PAC from DRIVE, which is Democrat, Republican, Independent Voter Education, to the Teamsters Fight Club. And we've had the most successful drive we've had in years. And I thought going to work sites, I've done this for a lot of years, and going to work sites with our members is the best experience you can have. Because they will cuss you, they'll hug you, they'll love you, and it's all in the same breath. And I thought, given our political climate, this, trying this year after the political climate we're in, I thought, I don't know how it's going to go. I think we might lose some money. We might have guys saying, if I can sign up here, can I drop out here? They can't, but they can. And so, but it went better. We had the biggest year of our lives. We raised over $72,000 in just about 8 days' work. And that's all for our political funds that our members are voluntarily giving. They want to support people who support us. We train our organizers, and we win union elections every day. We just talked about the baristas. We just organized a union of about 135 people down in Morgantown, Kentucky. And if you're from Morgantown or Grayson County, that's a big deal. We're going to change these folks' lives. We're going to give them the best contract they've ever seen. And we train our organizers. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So shut them up and listen. That's what you're supposed to do. And we need the party to do the same thing. This is the year, folks. Get out there and knock doors and talk to people when we don't have a candidate, when we don't have a race. Just have that conversation. We all have to change the way we run campaigns. I'm completely off script now, sorry. At this point, I'm Dave Letterman. When we run campaigns, and any of the politicos in the room will tell you, we look at a group of 100 voters, and we say, okay, there's 20 people on this end that are never going to vote for you. And there's 20 people on this end that are always going to vote for you. And it's these 60 in the middle, we got to target and move. And we've been wrong. And we lost. We got our ass kicked for it. We have to talk to every voter. Yep. This is the year to do it. Go out and talk, have that conversation. I find that so many often when I set up signs at the hall, I have a bunch of yard signs around. There's always one guy that comes in, he's got the camo hat on. I'm going, oh, this ain't gonna be good. And he says, hey, you got one of those Kamala Harris signs. Are you gonna shoot it? He said, no, I'm gonna vote for him. And it happens every cycle. There's always one that shows up and surprises me.
Fantastic.
We've got to meet our other Democrats where they are. There's an event coming up in Nelson, Washington, and one of the other counties, Marion, that's coming up. Meet people where they are. Make safe spaces. Make places where Democrats can come together and say, I'm proud to be a Democrat in this county. I'm proud to know it's okay to be a Democrat again. Woo! We've got We've got to put the party back in this party, folks. We got to have a little more fun, With that, I'll get off the stage. Obviously, my beautiful wife, Susan, is the one that's pushed me into all this. She was a college then president in college, and when I was frustrated at the warehouse one day, when I worked at Kroger Warehouse, she said, you talk to your steward, and you talk to the hall. And I said, no, them sons of bitches never do nothing. She said, we'll start there. And that was in 2002 or 3. And she's the one that has always inspired me to do all this. So thank you all very much. Keep supporting.
Yep.